I found him on a forum that didn't have a name. Just a string of numbers. And there he was, my boyfriend, smiling, selling something I can't even say out loud. I stared at the screen for maybe 10 minutes. Then I threw up. I'm not going to share my name. I don't think I could, even if I wanted to. I'm 29. I live in a small town outside of Portland. I work remote, freelance graphic design. Nothing glamorous. Just logos, websites, the occasional wedding invite. I used to think my life was boring. Now I miss boring. Before everything happened, I was in love. Real love. The kind that makes you feel safe. Like you could fall asleep in someone's arms and nothing bad would ever touch you. His name was Eli. We met at a bookstore. I was buying a used copy of House of Leaves, and he made some joke about how I was clearly trying to impress someone. I laughed. He had this crooked smile, like he was always halfway through a secret. He asked for my number. I gave it to him. That was 2 years ago. Eli was perfect. I know how that sounds. But he really was. He cooked. He cleaned. He remembered my coffee order. He rubbed my back when I had cramps. He listened. God, he listened. I told him things I hadn't told anyone. About my dad. About the panic attacks I used to get in college. About the time I almost drove off a bridge. He never flinched. He just held me. We moved in together after 6 months. Everyone said it was fast, but it felt right. We got a cat. Her name's Juniper. We hung fairy lights in the living room. We made playlists for each other. We talked about kids. I thought I knew him. I thought I knew everything. I didn't. It started small, little things. He'd get up in the middle of the night. Said he couldn't sleep. I'd hear the keyboard clicking in the other room. Sometimes I'd walk in and he'd slam the laptop shut. Just read it, he'd say. Nothing interesting. I believed him, because why wouldn't I? Then there was the phone. He started keeping it face down. Always on silent. I asked him once, joking, "Who are you hiding from?" He smiled. That same crooked smile. "No one," he said. "Just don't want distractions." I let it go. I let a lot of things go. Then one night, he didn't come home. Said he was working late. But he didn't work. He was between jobs. Said he was freelancing, like me. But I never saw him send an invoice. Never saw him take a call. I stayed up. He came home at 3 a.m. smelled like sweat and metal. I asked where he'd been. He said, helping a friend move. I didn't ask which friend. I didn't want to know. A week later, I found the USB. It was in his sock drawer. Hidden inside an old Altoids tin. I wasn't snooping. I was looking for my charger. But once I saw it, I couldn't not look. It was encrypted. I asked him about it. He got quiet. Said it was just backups. I asked, backups of what? He said, stuff from college. I didn't believe him, but I didn't push. I wish I had. God, I wish I had. Then came the night I couldn't sleep. I went to the kitchen for water. He wasn't in bed. I heard him in the office. I peeked in. He didn't see me. The screen was dark. Just lines of text. No colors. No images. Just usernames. And one of them was his. I recognized it. It was the same name he used for his Spotify. I watched him type. He was selling something. I couldn't see what. But the words were. They were wrong. Clean. Untraceable. Verified. I backed away. Went back to bed. Pretended to be asleep when he came in. My heart was pounding. I couldn't breathe. The next day, I stared at the screen. My hands were shaking. I clicked his profile. There were dozens of posts. Some recent, some months old, all of them horrifying. He was selling identities, not just names, whole lives, photos, addresses, socials, medical records, kids. I felt something inside me just break. This wasn't some scam. This was organized, professional, cold. And he was good at it. People trusted him. They called him clean. They said he delivered. They paid him in crypto. Thousands, tens of thousands. I saw one post. It had a photo. A little girl, maybe 6, blonde, missing teeth. Caption said, verified, no ties, ready. I slammed the laptop shut. I couldn't breathe. I ran to the bathroom. Threw up again. I wanted to scream. I wanted to confront him. But I didn't. I waited. I needed proof. I bought a second phone. Started recording. Every time he left at night, I followed. He didn't notice. He was always so careful. But not with me. He thought I was stupid. One night, he drove to a warehouse. Outside of town. I parked a block away. Watched him go inside. He was in there for hours. When he came out, he was carrying a duffel bag. Heavy. He loaded it into someone else's car. They shook hands. I filmed everything. I went home. Sat in the dark. Juniper curled up next to me. I cried into her fur. She didn't understand, but she stayed. The next morning, I confronted him. I had the laptop open. The forum pulled up. His profile. His posts. He walked in. Saw the screen. Stopped. Didn't say a word. I said, almost whispering, "What is this?" He didn't answer. Just stared. Then he said, "You weren't supposed to see that." I asked, "Is it real?" He nodded. I said, "Why?" He sat down, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "Because it pays." I felt like I was drowning. I asked, "Do you even love me?" He said, "I do. But love doesn't pay rent." I slapped him. Hard. He didn't flinch. Just stood up. Walked out. I called the police. Gave them everything. The USB. The recordings. The forum. They said they'd investigate. Said it was complicated. Said it might take time. I waited. Weeks. Then months. He never came back. But I saw him. Once. At a gas station. He looked different. Hair shorter. Eyes colder. He saw me. Smiled. That same crooked smile. I got in my car. Locked the doors. Drove away. I haven't seen him since. But I know he's out there. Still selling. Still smiling. After I reported him, things didn't go back to normal. They got worse. I started getting emails. Anonymous. Threatening. "Stay out of it. You don't know what you're doing." One of them had a photo of my apartment. Taken from the street. I moved. Changed my number. Deleted every social account. I stopped working. I couldn't focus. Every time I heard a car door slam, I jumped. Every time Juniper meowed at the window, I panicked. I bought pepper spray. A baseball bat. I slept with it next to the bed. I stopped trusting people. Stopped dating. Stopped talking to friends. They didn't understand. They said, "You're safe now." But I wasn't. I'm still not. The police followed up once. Said they'd traced some crypto wallets. Said he was part of a larger network. Said it was international. I asked if they'd caught him. They said no. They said he was off-grid. I asked if they'd protect me. They said, "We'll keep an eye out." That was a year ago. I still check the locks. Still scan the street before I leave. Still flinch when I hear his name. I tried therapy. Didn't help. I couldn't talk about it. Not really. Not the way it felt. Not the way it still feels. Like I'm being watched. Like he's waiting. Like he's laughing. I started writing everything down. Not for anyone else. Just for me. To remember. To make it real. Because sometimes I wonder if I imagined it. If I made it all up. But I didn't. I know I didn't. I still have the USB. Still have the screenshots. Still have the video. I watch it sometimes, just to remind myself of who he really was. Of what he did. Because the worst part isn't that he lied. It's that he was so good at it. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't looked. If I hadn't opened that laptop. If I just kept pretending. Would we still be together? Would I still be in love? Would I still be safe? I don't know, and I hate that I don't know. I think about the little girl in the photo. I don't know who she is. I don't know what happened to her. But I see her face in my dreams. I see Eli's smile, that crooked, perfect smile. I don't think he ever loved me. Not really. I think he loved the mask. The illusion. The safety I gave him. I was his cover. His alibi. His shield. And I hate him for that. I hate him for using me. For making me doubt myself. For making me afraid. But I also hate myself. For not seeing it sooner. For ignoring the signs. For loving him anyway. I'm trying to heal. Trying to move on. Trying to trust again. But it's hard. It's so fucking hard. I still sleep with the bat. I still check the forum. Just in case. And every time I see a new post, every time I see someone else smiling, I wonder. How many more are out there? How many more Elis? I wish I could forget. But I can't. And in that moment, I knew, nothing would ever be the same.